We are back now at 7:39 with the question, is privacy dead? We've seen a lot in the news lately about how much the government is able to track the data of Americans. Could be phone records, emails, license plates. Well, add to that all the ways private companies can access your information. So we wondered, how much do we give up about ourselves in just one ordinary day? We decided to find out.
It's happening right now. You're being watched. Online, on the street, every step recorded, every click tracked.
We absolutely live in a surveillance society. There are all these digital trails we leave behind everywhere.
From the moment we rise to the time we climb into bed, those digital trails are being collected, analyzed, and in some cases sold without our knowledge. NBC News producer Robin Olkers agreed to let us follow him for one day, a glimpse at his daily routine, a day in the life of his privacy, or lack thereof. Robin starts his morning simply enough. Like most of us, he surfs the internet and logs onto Facebook to interact with friends. And just like that, he's on the digital grid.
Facebook has tons of information about us. They often know where we are. They also share a lot of that information with other sites across the web.
From there, Robin goes for a morning run and uses an app on his smartphone to help monitor his pace and his distance. A digital cloud begins to follow him.
Your mobile phone is basically a tracking device, taking information about where you are and sending it to lots and lots of companies. The camera's all over while we're driving. Police systems, governments, they're tracking the make and model of the car, that are looking at the license plate.
Robin's car is outfitted with a mapping service. His speed and his location is tracked all the way to the train station, where a swipe of his monthly train ticket logs the time of entry.
I talked to him like an hour ago. He said we'll talk later.
When he makes his first phone call, the phone company knows where he is. As we also know from the revelations about the NSA, we know that the government knows where he is, and we know the numbers that he called.
To get to work at NBC, Robin walks through several New York City streets, and a huge network of video surveillance cameras take notice. Some of that video is beamed out over the internet.
You walk through Times Square, and you're basically on video everywhere.
Robin officially scans in when he arrives at work, logs into the network, browsing the internet and sending off emails. Both activities can be traced.
The company not only can see it, but they probably store that. They probably store it for legal reasons for a long period of time.
Robin buys his daily cup of coffee at a local Starbucks and uses his loyalty card when making the purchase.
You use a loyalty card, they know what you buy, they know when you buy it, they know you like coffee at 9:15.
Through the course of his day, security cameras record him throughout the building.
Your company knows where you are all the time.
He makes a couple of updates to his social media accounts. These accounts, experts say, hold the keys to a wealth of our personal information.
I found some pictures of him from college. I found his beer league softball photographs. I found pictures of his kids. They're quite attractive. I found out where he likes to vacation.
At home, after a day at work, he settles in for a movie with his kids. And yes, you guessed it, even his viewing habits can be traced.
Netflix is storing the information about everything you watch. Your cable box knows what channels you watch. It knows when you watch them.
24 hours, countless ways to track our every move.
Wow. Nick Thompson is the editor of TheNewYorker.com. Nick, good morning. Thanks
Good
for
morning.
your help with this. My takeaway is sit in your chair and read a book if you don't want to be tracked.
If you don't want to be tracked. But you also have to remember that all this information that you're giving to these tech companies, it helps them serve you better. I mean, you use a loyalty card. They know you like coffee at 9:15 in the morning. That might actually be something you want them to know. They might be able to give you a discount when you're walking by. So it's a trade-off. How concerned are you about this? And then how much benefits do you think you're getting from the companies?
And I think part of the point of doing this piece was just to provoke thought, make
Absolutely.
us aware of this. But to be clear, we don't want to make people paranoid. These private companies that collect this data, in most cases, are incredibly careful with it, aren't
and they have every incentive to be careful. So a technology company that has all your data, that has your search history, or they want to keep that secure because they know that if that gets out, that's terrible for them. And also, here's the thing about Robin. He has all these ways he's tracked, all these things he didn't know, all these things I learned about him. But has any of this ever caused him harm in his life? It doesn't seem that way. So there are very complicated trade-offs here, and it is a little frightening, but there's also a lot of good you get from giving up all this stuff.
Speaking of trade-offs, that's the whole issue with privacy with regard to the government tracking various things. And now we know, I mean, we have a fuller picture of what the government is able to get if it wants to, and if, in some cases, if it has the right justification. Phone, email, even your license plate.
Right, all of that information. And there's a trade-off for the government. They can protect us more. They can stop more terrorist attacks. They can do things we want them to do, the more information they have. So we just have to decide how much are we giving up? Are we giving up too much? There hasn't been a great debate about this in this country, either from the personal tech company side or from the personal government side, but we are starting to have that, and that's a really good thing.
Well, it's an eye-opening report. Nick Thompson, thank you for your help with it. We appreciate it.